On to the next one with Indiana State football and Coordinator's Corner. And to say the least, it's an important one this week with rival Eastern Illinois.
It's huge. It's an opportunity for us to continue to strive to get better and do the things that we need to do as we move into obviously a great opponent in Eastern, and then obviously going into the off week and further into league play. I mean, it's a big game for a couple reasons. First and foremost, it's a huge game because it's the next game. But then obviously it's a huge game because of the proximity.
I think really from the biggest standpoint, it's a gauge of how far we've come since Coach Mallory first got here. And I think that's really what the way that I look at it is, look, we went through a year, we got the system in, we went through an off season now, our kids know what to expect, our players know who we are, we have an identity, now where are we?
The Panthers opened up the season against an SEC opponent in Arkansas, then the annual in-state rivalry with Illinois State last week. Of course, a team Indiana State will see in the Missouri Valley Football Conference on Senior Day in November this season. Despite Eastern Illinois being 0-2, Sycamore coordinators say, don't let it fool you.
They play really hard. I think they're up front guys. You know, they lost the two kids they had a year ago, but I don't see a drop off in anything that they're doing. They play really hard. You know, the big guys in the middle play well with their hands and they're quick. They got a couple defensive ends that play really fast up the field. The one we saw a year ago, the one we didn't. You know, obviously everything starts with them with their linebacker, Caputo. He's a great player, very experienced in the system, and he's a tough player. You know, and then the back end's young, but they're getting better. You know, both the corners are good players. We saw them a year ago, and those safeties are coming along. You know, I mean, they've had a tough run and a tough schedule, but that's not indicative of who they are as a defense.
You know, improvement from week 1 to week 2, as they did, and I know that, you know, whether they feel as if the score reflected it, I know they scored 20-some points against Arkansas, which is a great accomplishment, you know, but and I think that. But when you look at them and what they're doing offensively and you know, with being able to run 2 quarterbacks in there and they both present different challenges and bring different things to the table, they've got tremendous skill on the perimeter. You know, I think that's, you know, kind of when you look at those guys out there and you look at what they can do with the ball in their hands, it kind of make you hold your breath a little bit.
The first couple weeks of the season, running the football has been a constant. We will cover that more on Thursday. But how does the Sycamore passing game continue to develop this week?
I think we played smart. You know, obviously it wasn't exciting, but I think we played smart for the situation that we were in. I think we just got to continue, and we got to hit the opportunities we get. We're always going to run the ball. I mean, Coach Mallory has said that since we got here from day one. We will win because we run the football, and that's going to be the primary basis of everything that we do. That's what the foundation is built on. We're building a foundation, and we're not going to vary from that. Because now all of a sudden you just don't change. The foundation is going to be built on power up front and running the football downhill.
I say rivalry with Eastern Illinois, but the Panthers have won 6 straight, 13 of the last 15 games in this series. They've outscored Indiana State by an average of 20.5 points in those 6 straight victories. Mix in how last year's game ended, specifically on defense, this group can't wait to strap it up on Saturday.
We say it all the time. That's the thing about playing on the defensive side of the ball. You can be great for 58 minutes, and you can be the one on the field at the end and lose it. You know, and that's the way it ends, and that's the way you remember it. And I think that what it showed was it was an indication, whether we like it or not, of where we were and where they were at that time. And you know, things hadn't gone well for them for the vast majority of that game, and they found a way to gut it out at the end and scrape together a victory. And things had gone well for the vast majority of the game for us defensively, and we couldn't finish at the end. You know, and I think that you know, our guys are definitely, that's something that's sat with them for a long time now, and I'm sure that they're excited to get back out there and you know, give it another chance to go compete and play together.
For more on Indiana State football and their matchup with Eastern Illinois on Saturday, stay right here at GoSycamores.com.